Joining me now, Wyoming Senator John Barrasso, chairman of the Senate Republican Policy Committee. Senator, thank you for taking the time. Let's start there with President Obama. He said there is what he would describe as a silent caucus of people who want to come together on common sense solutions. Did you hear anything? The president spoke for a little about over a half hour. Did you hear anything that offered you anything new or a way forward to find some of that common ground? Post-sequester, it certainly looks like it's going to kick into effect.
Well, the president, when he said that these cuts were dumb and arbitrary, I agree, and wanted to give the president flexibility. And actually, there's a bipartisan effort yesterday. You had Max Baucus, the Democrat chairman of the Finance Committee. You had Senator and former governor of Virginia, Mark Warner, wanting to give the president flexibility. But generally, the Democrats objected to giving the president the flexibility that I think he ought to have, because the American people clearly, bipartisan, understand that their tax dollars are being wasted. They think about 50 cents of every dollar that they send to Washington is wasted money. So there are so many ways with overlapping programs that could be cut. There are so many ways that the government overpays people that could be saved, and that's what we need to do. That's where you need to take these cuts and give the president the flexibility to do it, because he needs to find ways to take this out of the politics and just make sense for America.
Senator, I want to ask you two things. One is, number one, when the sequester was agreed upon, no one, on the one moment of bipartisanship, no one thought that this day would come, that it would be going into effect. So, number one, what, if anything, does that tell the American public about Congress's ability to do big things or even smallish things to avert the sequester? And number two, as we look forward, we have possibility on March 27th of a government shutdown. When are real negotiations going to begin with Republicans, coming to the table, meeting President Obama at the table? When does that happen, and when should it happen?
Well, the president mentioned in his press conference that he was going to continue to reach out to people on Capitol Hill. I certainly haven't seen any of that outreach by the president. He seems to want to spend his time more interested, it looks to me at least, in terms of trying to cause fear and anxiety among the American public, to try to force Congress to raise taxes. But it doesn't work with me. We need to cut the spending that we know is wasteful spending that continues to go on. And it's easy to point out the overlapping and programs that are inefficient and ineffective. But yesterday, also, there was the president's proposal to raise taxes. He called it balance, but Democrats who are senators running for election, Chris, in 2 years, voted against it. You saw the senators from North Carolina, Arkansas, Louisiana, Democrats all voting against this effort to raise taxes. So there is bipartisan opposition to what the president has been asking to get passed in Congress.
Wyoming Senator John Barrasso, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Chris.